I just went through a rigged trial in New York. They know it's a corrupt system. They know all about it. But with your help, less than 5 months from now, and we're going, and I'll tell you what, we have to change the system. We have to straighten out what's going on in these courts.
Former President Donald Trump was back on the campaign trail in Arizona yesterday for the first time since being convicted on all 34 counts in his New York so-called hush money case. He spent the rally criticizing the case against him and claiming his conviction should be overturned on appeal. Today, Trump heads to Beverly Hills, California for a fundraiser. And Caitlin Huey-Burns is in Phoenix this morning. So I'm really anxious to talk to you about just how voters reacted to Donald Trump. You spoke to some undecided voters, and a big topic of speculation as the court case was unfolding was whether or not a conviction would make much of a difference, or whether, they've already come to a conclusion about who Donald Trump is. I want to play some of the sound that you managed to get.
I don't know all the specifics, but don't like him. How somebody with, 39 felonies or whatnot can run for president? It just seems a little lopsided. It seems a little not what the country's about, so to speak.
Okay, so what did you learn about how Arizona voters are viewing the outcome for the former president, and how the outcome of the case, I guess, and how it may affect him?
Yeah, Anne-Marie, it's great to be with you. And it was interesting when Donald Trump came here yesterday, he touted the amount of money that he has been able to raise since this indictment. And when you talk to voters around here, it kind of falls along party lines, considering how they think this plays out. But what's telling here also is that Trump lost Arizona by about 10,000 votes. But Arizona was really ground zero for election denialism. So this kind of idea that Trump has been promoting false claims about the election ever since then, but also this idea of a rigged justice system plays well with his base of support. It was telling yesterday that his first campaign stop since being convicted, and his first stop actually in Arizona this cycle was here, and with a group, Turning Point USA, and Charlie Kirk, the leader of that group, who has kind of been an election denier leader of that movement, that was telling that was his first stop since becoming officially a convicted felon.
When you see some of the latest polls and voters are asked about who would do better with certain issues, when immigration pops up, often Donald Trump wins those polls somewhat. Arizona is a border state. You spoke to one voter about their concerns when it comes to immigration. I want to play that sound.
It's very high up there. I think it's my number 2 issue. I'm from Guatemala. She's from Nicaragua. So we're immigrants. They assume that because we're immigrants, we are for criminality and for open borders. No, we have families. We believe in America, in a safe border. But they are lying to our faces blatantly.
So there's been a lot of stuff happening at the border, though. President Biden has just sort of changed a policy when it comes to asylum seekers who cross over illegally. State Republicans there approved a November ballot measure that would allow local police to arrest undocumented migrants crossing the border, probably similar to what they are trying to implement in Texas. How are Arizonans feeling about all of this?
Well, those voters that you just heard from in that soundbite, we talked to them at an event supporting Carrie Lake, the Republican candidate for Senate here. Those voters were saying that they are 100% behind Donald Trump. And that was kind of interesting to hear from them, saying that they were immigrants and they like his policies on immigration. But, Anne-Marie, we also talked to a citrus farmer in the greater Phoenix area who said that he's really concerned about the policy, that ballot measure that you mentioned that will be on the ballot here in November. He's worried about what that kind of impact that would have on his workforce, which is mostly made up of migrants. So you're seeing kind of mixed reviews here, but you're right to say that voters here feel it much more acutely because it is a border state, and that ballot measure will be interesting, Anne-Marie, because that is kind of geared towards aiming towards driving up turnout in November and trying to kind of compete with something that Democrats hope will turn out voters, which is a ballot measure on abortion access, enshrining abortion access into the state's constitution. So you'll have immigration and abortion, key issues around the country, felt really profoundly here with those ballot measures in November.
Yes, Caitlin, thank you very much.